there are certain skill sets which the current generation of healthcare leaders they need to develop. They need to improve upon those. So yes, we went to med school to be a doctor. We went to residency so we can practice in a supervised settings. Then you are after the residency you can practice independently. But developing the skill set to be a healthcare leader is maybe that you may need something more. So in your view, what kind of skills that we as clinical faculty need to develop to do a good job as healthcare leaders?
So, a couple of things. One is, I think we have to recognize how big a part of our life, our profession is. And one of the things that I think has been a problem in the last few years is the term work-life balance. Mm-hmm. You hear it all the time. But what it implies is that your work isn't part of your life. It's like they're separate. And in fact, your work is a huge part of your life. It's how you make the rest of your life and your work life work together. And that's I think something that we need to work on our trainees with, because if the view is, well, I have my duty hours in the hospital, and when I leave the hospital, my work is done and my life begins. That's a recipe for disaster. I mean, first, you can't learn that way. You mm-hmm. need to read outside and do a lot of extra things outside of the hospital. But you also kind of can't look at this as though there's an antagonistic relationship between your work and your life. That I've always felt one of the most important things about my life is my being a neurosurgeon. I mean, that's part of my identity. This is, I love doing that. Well, why would I separate it from the rest of my life? So that is one thing. I think just how we look at this going forward. The other thing I think that's really important is we're going to have physician leaders who understand the business world. Mm-hmm. If you're again, if it's just an antagonism between business and medicine, then it's not going to work. Mm-hmm. And since it's the business that brings in the dollars that allows us to get paid, I know who wins that one. And so I think having physician leaders who do get degrees in things like, Masters of Health Administration or MBAs, it is important, because we need people to be able to speak both languages, if you will. So that's one area. And it's an area where I've encouraged people in both residents and faculty to get that kind of training. And then the other piece to this, again, I think it comes down to personality. I've noticed there may be a substantial difference between personality of a physician and the personality of a business person. Mm-hmm. As a physician, you're trained, you want to be caring, you want to try to understand, you want to sacrifice yourself because it's going to help somebody else. That's really not the business model. The business model is I'm going out to win. And so it doesn't mean they're bad people. It's just a different culture. Mm-hmm. And we have to figure out how to bring them together better. And I think there will be physician leaders who can do that.